Hello everyone. In this video we're going to install a simple Express server in Node.js. We're going to configure it so that we can expand on it in the future, but for this video we're just going to keep it simple. The first thing we need to do is open up a terminal and create our directory structure. So we're going to cd to our project folder where we're going to keep our project. So I'm going to keep my project in my video projects folder, but you can keep yours wherever you are comfortable doing that. We'll just do mkdir-p and we'll create our directory structure. So we'll call this Express server. And then under that we'll have a client folder and a server folder. And under server we will have a config folder and a servers folder. And you don't want to have any spaces in here. We'll close that out and you can check with tree and it'll show you your folder structure. So that looks good. Now we can initialize npm. So we do npm init. Oh, first you want to change to your Express server and then run npm init. And we'll just accept all the defaults here. I'm not too worried about that right now. Then we want to do npm install save dev express, and that will install our Express server for us. Okay, next we will open up Sublime Text and open up to our Express server folder, and we're going to lay out our file structure. So in client we're going to create a file called index.html, and that's just so we'll have something to serve up to test our server with. And we'll just call this hello world. Alright, so that's just a simple HTML file that we'll use to test our server. In server we're going to create a file named app.js. And in servers we're going to create a file named http.js. And in config we're going to create a file named dev.js. Okay, so dev.js is going to create or contain our development environment configuration. http.js is going to contain our HTTP server, and app.js is just going to wire them together. Okay, so we'll start with devjs and we'll just do module.exports equals an object, and we'll just export. We'll give this an env property, call it development, and then we'll give it a HTTP port and give it 9000. So that'll be the port that our server will serve our HTML files on, and that's it for that. That's real simple. Next we'll go to our http.js folder, or file rather, and we'll create our HTTP server. So we'll do a we have to get Express, and then we're going to create a server with Express, and then we're going to also do a module.exports equals HTTP server, and then we'll create a function called HTTP server, and this function will take a config object as its parameter, and we can grab properties off of the config object or use it directly. Just to show you, we'll do a port equals config.http port, or we'll give it 10,080 just for kicks. So this config object will be this devjs object, and we'll grab the HTTP port from that, and we'll do server.use express.static So we're going to serve static files from their name plus. So we're going to serve our static HTML files and JavaScript and everything else from our client directory. And right now, to get to the client, we'd have to go up through our servers directory, up through the server directory, and then get to the client. So we have to do /././client. So each /.. will take us up one folder level to get to the client directory. Now we'll do server.listen port. And that'll start our server for us, and then we'll just put out a message that the server is running. Alright, so now we have our config object and our HTTP server, and now we just need to wire them together. So in app.js, we're going to go ahead and wire our HTTP server and our config object together. So we'll do var config equals require our config /dev file, and HTTP equals require our servers /HTTP file, and then we'll just call this HTTP server equals, and we'll run our HTTP server and pass it in our config object. So now our app.js is what will run with Node.js, and that will pull in the config file and the HTTP server function and run the function using the config object and start the server for us. So now what we want to do is go back to our terminal, and we can type Node.js server app.js, and there's our server listening. So now we can open up a browser, go to localhost 9000 and hello world. And just to show you that this is actually serving our HTML file, we'll just make a change here, call this test, and refresh, and there you go, hello world. So that's it. That's a real simple Express server in Node.js that you can use for development, or you can build on it and use it for production. Thank you again for watching. If the video was helpful to you, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, or special requests, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks.